Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Dwivedi. Let's begin with the practice question of the last segment. Consider the following statements regarding the anti-defection law. It was included in the Constitution via the 42nd Amendment Act of 1985. Election Commission of India is the final adjudicating authority for anti-defection law. We have to select the correct statement. Both the statements are incorrect. Option D is the correct answer. The 10th schedule, which is also known as the Anti-Defection Act. It was included in the Constitution via the 52nd Amendment Act of 1985. It sets the provisions for disqualification of elected members on the grounds of defection to another political party. As per the 1985 Act, a defection by 1/3 of the elected members of a political party was considered a merger and exempted under the proceedings of the anti-defection law. However, the 91st Constitutional Amendment Act of 2003 changed this, and now at least 2/3, remember this, 2/3 of the members of a party have to be in favor of the merger. Then only it will be considered as not being under disqualified. The decision on questions as to disqualification on grounds of defection are referred to the chairman or the speaker of such house, not the election commission, and his decision is final, his or her. Moving on. Consider the following statements regarding Index of Industrial Production. IIP is an indicator that measures the changes in the volume of production of industrial products during a given period. It is compiled and published annually by the National Statistical Office, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Base year for IIP is 2011 and 12. So we have to select the correct statement. Only the first and the third are correct, second is not correct. Option C is the correct answer. According to data released by National Statistical Office, industrial output slumped to a 10-month low of 0.4% in December. Now it was dragged down by sectors such as manufacturing, capital goods and consumer durable output along with an unfavorable base. IIP is an indicator that measures the changes in the volume of production of industrial production products during any given period. It is compiled and published monthly by the National Statistical Office, which is under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and it is a composite indicator that measures the growth rate of industry groups classified under broad sectors, namely mining, manufacturing and electricity, use-based sectors, namely basic goods, capital goods and intermediate goods. Base year for IIP is 2011 and 12. Consider the following statements regarding Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Insolvency is a legal declaration of one's inability to pay off debts. Under the IBC, stakeholders are required to complete the CIRP within 330 days of the initiation of insolvency proceedings. So only the second statement is correct. Option B will be the correct answer. Recently, Sri Ravi Mittal took charge of chairperson of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code is a reform enacted in 2016. It amalgamates various laws relating to insolvency resolution of business firms. It lays down clear-cut and faster insolvency proceedings to help creditors such as banks recover dues and prevent bad loans, a key drag on the economy. Insolvency is a situation where individuals or companies are unable to repay their outstanding debt. Bankruptcy is a situation whereby a court of competent jurisdiction has declared a person or other entity insolvent, having passed appropriate orders to resolve it and protect the rights of the creditors. It is a legal declaration of one's inability to pay off debts. So, legal declaration is a keyword for bankruptcy. Corporate insolvency resolution process is a time-taking resolution, and at the end of December 2020, over 86% of the 1,717 ongoing insolvency resolution proceedings had crossed the 270-day threshold. And under the IBC, stakeholders are required to complete the CIRP within 330 days of the initiation of insolvency proceedings. Consider the following statements. Carbon sequestration is the temporary storage of carbon in plants, soils, geologic forms, and the ocean. Carbon sequestration occurs only as a result of anthropogenic activities. So we have to select the correct statement. Both are incorrect. Option D is the correct answer. The Department of Science and Technology under the Union Ministry of Science and Technology has established the National Center of Excellence in Carbon Capture and Utilization at Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Carbon sequestration is the long-term storage of carbon in plants, soils, geologic formations, and the oceans. Carbon sequestration occurs both naturally and as a result of anthropogenic activities, and typically refers to the storage of carbon. Consider the following statements. Koala is an arboreal marsupial. Koalas are endemic to Australia. So we have to select the correct statement. Both the statements are correct. Option C is the correct answer. Once found in abundance, Australia's much-loved koalas have now been officially classified as endangered. The step was taken after widespread bushfires, drought, and land clearing destroyed much of their eucalyptus-rich habitat. Koala is an arboreal marsupial. Marsupial is born in a very incomplete state. They are minute, hairless, and with hind limbs only partially formed. Around 2/3 of them live in Australia. The other third live mostly in South America. Instead of the placenta, the mother's milk nourishes the young and allows it to grow and develop. Although the word marsupial comes from the Latin word marsupium, which means pouch, not all marsupials have pouches. They are endemic to Australia, and due to the low nutrient level of the eucalyptus leaves they feed on, the koala can sleep up to 18 hours each day. Consumption of fortified rice can lead to anemia, gut inflammation, hypervitaminosis. So we have to select the correct statement. Only option C will be correct. The Government of India approved the centrally sponsored pilot scheme on fortification of rice and its distribution under public distribution system for a period of 3 years beginning 1920. Food fortification is basically a process of adding micronutrients to food to provide extra nutrients, that is vitamins and minerals, in order to fight chronic anemia and undernutrition both. The government is making plans to distribute fortified rice through the Integrated Child Development Services and midday meal schemes. Some studies show that both anemia and vitamin A deficiency are overdiagnosed, meaning that mandatory fortification could lead to hypervitaminosis. Hypervitaminosis is a condition of abnormally high storage levels of vitamins which can lead to various symptoms such as overexcitement, irritability, and even toxicity. A 2010 study showed that iron fortification caused gut inflammation in undernourished children. Moving on. The Mughal Gardens will open for the general public from today till March 16. With respect to Mughal Gardens, consider the following statements. The initiator of the Mughal Gardens in India was Babur. It is a planned Charbagh style. The tradition of building Charbagh touched its zenith during the time of Akbar. So we have to select the correct statement. Only the first and second are correct. Option B is the correct answer. The initiator of the Mughal Gardens in India was Zahiruddin Babur. Fundamentally, the Mughal Gardens have had edifices in a symmetrical arrangement within enclosed towns and with provisions for water channels and cascades, water tanks and fountains. Thus, the Mughals maintained the tradition of building fourfold Charbagh symmetrical gardens. After Babur, the tradition of building Charbaghs touched its zenith during the time of Shah Jahan, not Akbar. With respect to Bloomberg Billionaires Index, consider the following statement. Indian industrialist Gautam Adani has become the wealthiest person in Asia. Zhang Yiming, the founder of TikTok, has grabbed the second position in the world's richest Asian list. We have to select the correct statement. Only the first is correct. Option A is the correct answer. Indian industrialist Gautam Adani has become the wealthiest person in Asia according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Chairman and Managing Director of Reliance Industries Limited, Mukesh Ambani, has slipped down to second row. Zhong Shanchan, known as the Bottled Water King, has ranked third, and a 39-year-old Chinese billionaire, Zhang Yiming, who is the founder of TikTok, has grabbed the fourth position in the world's richest Asian list. Moving on. Which of the following countries mentioned do not have a border with Lithuania? Latvia, Belarus, Ukraine, Poland. The correct answer is option C, Ukraine. Australia stands with Lithuania, said Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison amidst Chinese tensions. Lithuania is a country in the Baltic region of Europe. It is one of 3 Baltic states and lies on the eastern shore of Baltic Sea. Lithuania shares a border with Latvia to the north, Belarus to the east and south, Poland to the south, and Kaliningrad Oblast of Russia in the southwest. Moving on. With respect to the state of Goa, consider the following statements. Goa became a Portuguese colony in 1510. Admiral Alfonso de Albuquerque defeated the forces of Sultan of Bijapur Yusuf Adil Shah to acquire Goa. We have to select the correct statement. Both are correct. Option C is the correct answer. With Goa going to polls, it is time for politics to confront history again, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has set the tone. Goa became a Portuguese colony only in the year 1510 when Admiral Alfonso de Albuquerque defeated the forces of the Sultan of Bijapur, Yusuf Adil Shah. by the turn of the 20th century, Goa had started to witness an upsurge of nationalist sentiment. To Tristan de Braganza, Cunha, celebrated as the father of Goan nationalism, founded the Goa National Congress at the Calcutta session of the Indian National Congress in 1928. In 1946, the socialist leader Ram Manohar Lohia led a historic rally in Goa that gave a call for civil liberties and freedom. Goa was liberated on December 19, 1961 by swift Indian military action that lasted less than 2 days. The concept of Uniform Civil Code is enshrined in which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution? The correct answer is option D, Article 44. Implementing Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand at the earliest will boost equal rights for everyone. In the state of Chief Minister, the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand said this. The Uniform Civil Code calls for the formulation of one law for India, which would be applicable to all religious communities in matters such as marriage, divorce, inheritance, adoption. The code comes under Article 44 of the Indian Constitution, which lays down the state shall endeavour to secure a uniform civil code for the citizens throughout the territory of India. Let's look at the practice question. Consider the following statements. National Legal Service Day was first started in 1995 to provide help and support to poor and weaker sections of the society. Free legal services are provided in matters of civil and criminal courts only. Article 39A of the Indian Constitution ensures the opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disability. We have to select the correct statement. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated. Thank you so much for watching.